Alongside me is Ben Clark, former Pools defender. Get his thoughts very, very shortly, but we've got a corner to describe for you. It's the orange shirts of Eastleigh. Away to our right-hand side in front of the town end. The corner swung into the front post, flicked behind, might get a second chance here. Eastleigh on the edge of the area with Taylor trying to find his way through. His shot is blocked by Amira. Now Manny Dizaruwe breaking away on this near side and just out-muscles his man. Striding across the halfway line now is Dizaruwe, but he slows that to a walking pace, manages to keep ghosting inside before the ball eventually taken off of his toes by Ludwig Franzleit. Goes back to his goalkeeper. So Pools kicking from right to left in this first half in their familiar blue and white vertical stripes, the blue shorts, the white socks with the red trim. Eastleigh all in orange this afternoon, with a wind whipping around the stadium that is stretching the flags away to our left-hand side right out, also ruffling the shirts of the players down at pitch level. Ben Clark alongside me, former Pools defender. Always a pleasure to have your company, Ben. Pools could really do with a win to stop the rot this afternoon.
Yeah, I think it's important at the start of the game on the front foot. Obviously, on the back of 3 defeats, it's always a nervy time. But you know, the game started quite an even game just to start with. But yeah, Pools will be looking to stamp their authority on the game.
And the one thing me and you both looked at in the team sheet when it arrived was the fact that Paul McCallum is suspended, so misses out this afternoon. You've actually played against him, so you know how much of a handful he can be.
He's a real handful. You know, he likes the balls into the box. He's scored a lot of goals. I think he's got about 10 goals this season in the National League, so he is a real threat. So that's something that the Hartlepool will be looking to. That we'll be happy with, but they've got quickly. He's a big lad as well, so I think it'll be Eastleigh won't change the way they play. I think they'll be quite direct, try and get the balls into the box and put Hartlepool under pressure, and this is where the Hartlepool defenders just have to try and deal with it really and build on, which was a good performance on Tuesday night. I watched the highlights. They played really well and were unfortunately not to get anything from the game. Yeah,
Scott Quigley mentioned there, 6'4", 31 he is now. 4 goals to his name so far this season. There's also a Pools link in there. It is a bit tenuous, but bear with me. He played for the New Saints under former Pools manager Craig Harrison, who was Pools boss the last time for a spell. The last time Pools were in the National League. Signed from Stockport in the summer. And as I say, 4 goals to his name so far. There is also Chris Maguire, who is a source of a bit of humour around Hartlepool United in these parts, because under Paul Hartley last season, Maguire actually was announced as a signing by Pools, had his photo taken in the Cyril Knowles stand opposite to us, all in his blue and white striped shirt and everything. That was despite being charged by the FA for breaches of betting rules. Then the contract was eventually torn up, and he got his ban, served his ban, and then went to ply his trade elsewhere. So as much as he was signed, unveiled, was wearing the shirt in the stand, he never actually graced the pitch here. Although he did one warm-up routine where he looked a little bit worse for wear, it has to be said. So a chance for him to play against his former employers of sorts this afternoon, as David Ferguson receives the ball on this near side, drifts in field, no option, so he goes back to Zach Johnson, the Sunderland loanee. Infield to Joe Gray, heavy touch and then slips. The studs just went from underneath his feet. A chance for Baldwin to try and break away to our left-hand side at the byline. Pete Jameson thought about coming for it, but then stayed inside his 6-yard area. Baldwin twisting, turning, trying to get away from his marker, and does. Delivered into the area towards Quigley, but it is cleared up to Dizaruwe with the orange boots on his feet. Wins a throw-in for good measure midway inside the Pools half. It is a very windy afternoon here in Hartlepool, so I wonder how much of a part that will have to play in the game. Scruffy clearance from the Eastleigh goalkeeper, straight to Crawford, finds Dizaruwe, edge of the area, gives it to Hendry, arriving right-hand side of play, thinks about delivering, circles back on himself, does a full 360, picks out Joe Gray, right-hand side of the penalty area, drags it back, stands it up right on top of the goalkeeper, and it was picked out of the air by Joe McDonnell. It was good play, Ben.
Yeah, good little play on the right-hand side there. Joe just getting in between the lines. If anything, the ball was a bit close to the goalkeeper, but that's a nice play. You can just see, Featherstone come back in the team. Just a little bit of a cameo there, got in the ball, nice and composed. I think that's what he's going to bring to the team. Likes to get in the ball, shows that bravery, and hopefully he can try and dictate this game for Pools.
Yeah, it's got to be strange for Nicky Featherstone back here after a lot has been said, written and thought about his departure. I know many Poolies were saying initially when it was announced that he was going to move on is that it was a shame he didn't get the send-off that his time at Pools probably deserved. Well, he's back now on a 1-month contract initially. Bumped into him at the Durham training ground earlier. Hold that thought, because Balderwin with a shot, edge of the area, but it trickles through to Pete Jameson and then balls it out underarm to Crawford. Pools could stretch Eastleigh here, who are getting men back in position. Crawford, Maguire is there in front of him. Crawford squares it to Nicky Featherstone, now wearing the number 35, which looks all sorts of strange considering he used to occupy the number 8. Now Gray, midway inside the opposition half. Hendry infield to Desirue, tries a quick 1-2 with Amera, who hangs on to it. Out to the right hand side once more for Hendry. Now Amera finds Desirue, back to goal, tries to play it through towards Amera, who's just blocked off there, but manages to get away to the byline. Back out to Hendry, hugging that touchline on that right hand side is Hendry, gets it back from Joe Gray. That's good interplay. Crawford is calling for it, edge of the area, and he's right-footed shot is buried by Tom Crawford. And that is Pools' first goal in 3 games. The drought is over. Hartlepool United take the lead inside 8 minutes against Eastleigh. You can sense the relief around the ground, but Pools take the advantage early on. They lead Eastleigh by a 1-0, and it's courtesy of Crawford, who buries his 3rd of the season.
A great goal, really patient on the right hand side again great, finding little spaces in between the lines, keeping the ball, and I love the finish from Crawford. Just passed it into the back of the net. He had one similar on Tuesday night where the goalkeeper made a worldie of a save. For this one, he's kept it down. Great football, great goal, and it's just what Hartlepool deserved. You can see the play of football, they've kept it nice. It was a really good goal. Should settle them down.
And you mentioned it, you could hear your excitement in the build-up. That interplay between Luke Hendry, between Joe Gray, edge of the area.
Yeah, very good. And the 2 lads up front as well, linking well. They're going to be a real handful. It's important now, Hartlepool, that they keep going and keep building on this fantastic start.
Well, that will certainly lift the spirits at the start of this game. And now on 8 minutes, a round of applause here that goes round, and it's it's Pools latch onto a mistake. Crawford tries to race in on goal there, but just gets closed down as the ball bounces out. This is in tribute to Lucas Tarrant, aged 8, sadly passed away recently. Stephen is a friend of the family. Stephen is the father, and his wife losing their son Lucas at the age of 8, which is just so unfair. And a nice tribute there on 8 minutes from everybody inside the ground, and everybody from BBC Radio T Sport sending their thoughts with Stephen and to his family.
Absolutely, yeah.
But a nice moment there, and that goal coming on 8 minutes as well.
Good play.
As Desirue finds Joe Gray, spreads the ball beautifully out to this near side for Ferguson, running at his man, delivers it, lifts up to the back post, and it's headed behind for a corner.
Yeah, I think Joe started the game really well. He's just finding little pockets, little areas. You can see the confidence, spraying the passes wide. Lovely. I think that's when Fergie's at his best, when he's going forward. Lovely little ball into the box. Good defending from Eastleigh. You can see the crowd are getting into the game, which is fantastic.
Yes, the spirits are up. The northwest corner is starting the thunderclap away to our left. You can see the blue and white flags waving. Pools with this corner routine. We're just having to wait because the got the multi-ball system in full effect here. But Featherstone to deliver this corner. Crawford was a short option but is now drifted into the box. Amera comes short and again trots back into position. Featherstone with his left hand in the air delivers it right on top of the head of Desirue, who heads it high and wide. He buries his face into these hands. He knows that was an opportunity. It was a free header inside the box that goes over.
Yeah, it was well worked. I think they blocked off Desirue's man. Great again, great quality from Featherstone. We know that he's got that. He'd be slightly disappointed never hit the target there, but it was obviously worked on the training ground.
The voice of Ben Clark, our expert pools summariser this afternoon. And you're bringing us some luck, Ben, because pools are leading by 1-0.
How long's left?
Too long. Too long at present. As the ball drops out of play for a Pools throw-in deep inside their own half. But you're right in what you said straight after that goal, which just settles everybody down straight from the off.
I think this is what the management team would have wanted. Try and get the crowd on side early, because the longer it goes when you haven't scored and for a while, it does become a bit of an issue. And but what a great goal, Rob! Great football, great playing. Deserved that good goal.
Eastleigh trying to build something on the halfway line, but they give it away. Now Crawford tries to squares it to Ferguson, who gets there, then tries to beat his man. He's in a foot race here with Oscar Rutherford, but Rutherford comes out on top. Goes back to his goalkeeper and captain in McDonald. Featherstone gets underneath that clearance and keeps hold of it. He skews his clearance, but manages to pick out Crawford, who tries to go past his man. Wins a throw-in.
He's got a bit of a swagger about him.
He does. I remember interviewing him earlier this season, Ben, and he said, look, the one thing I'm fully aware I need to add to my game is goals. That's his third of the season. And like you say, you can see it almost just like oozing out of every pore of Tom Crawford at the minute, that confidence. And that's what goals do to an individual and to a team.
Definitely.
Eastleigh have it with Taylor. Looks long over the top, but Onarise reads that well, comes across to clear it into touch. I'm not going to mention about Pools and their clean sheet record at home. I'll leave that for later. I don't want to jinx it just yet. And still, like you said, still plenty of time left to play, unfortunately. 13 minutes in. First real touch for Chris Maguire, as Rutherford does well to keep the ball in for the Spitfires. Quigley turning. Maguire back to Taylor, lifts his head and then pings one over the top. Onarise can't get there, might mop up the danger, and he does.
Great little ball. And
he finds Josh Amera. Just gets a little shove in the back there from Rendell. Now Luke Hendry in possession. Up to the halfway line for Desirue. Now Featherstone clips it over the top, looking for Amera to chase. He's claiming he was being held there. Was almost, was calling for it as he was running onto the ball, but the referee giving nothing. He does like to get involved in the hustle and bustle of it all, Josh Amera. Sometimes it can be to his detriment, but
I think Pools have started really well, Rob. I'm really, you wouldn't think they hadn't gone 3 games unbeaten. You can see with the confidence, the way they're playing. They all want the ball, passing the ball lovely, getting through the lines.
Little back heel from Zach Johnson in towards Ferguson. Desirue just out-muscled on the ball now. Chris Maguire out to this near side for Quigley. Back infield, thinks about putting it in with his left. He might try and find the angle for the shot, but Onarise is sticking to him like glue. Defending. Back it goes out to the left-hand side, and Eastleigh just overrun it and overplay it, so Pools can clear into touch as the ball clatters off the top of the Cyril Knoll stand opposite us. And a throw-in to the away side. Can see John Askey down in his technical area, just shielding his eyes from the sun. Richard Hill doing the same as the ball bounces all the way through to Quigley, who tries to twist and turn past Zach Johnson. Following shot is blocked and charged down by Pools. Now Rutherford finds Maguire back out to Taylor. Now Maguire feeds a through ball into the area, but Zach Johnson does well to read the danger, step across his man, tries to complete the clearance. A flamboyant little flick from David Ferguson there that goes out of play. Don't know how much he knew about it, the Pool's captain, but I'm sure he'll claim that he did. Oh, foul throw there, was it? And the referee shakes his head. The orange shirts of Eastleigh clear into the Pool's half of play, headed away by Honorise. Chris Maguire just starting to get on the ball a little bit more now.
Just settle a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Eastleigh now.
As Desirue goes in late on Maguire. And do you know what? The Eastleigh number 8, Jake Taylor, I've seen him a few times commentating on games, and every time I've seen him, I've always really liked what I've seen from him. A tidy player. Yeah,
he seems a good captain as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He seems to lead by example. He's telling his players what to do there in positions, and he looks like he knows what he's doing with the game as well, just slotting in the centre half where he stepped out. So
reads the game really well. Graduate of the Reading Academy. Was actually with the academy since the age of 8 at Reading, and joined here at Eastleigh after leaving Stevenage. Played.
We've got a switch on here from this corner. Yeah, Eastleigh just a little passage of play there where they've kept the ball well. So they've got quite a few big lads here. So they've got to be really diligent with the defending, watch what they're doing, get the man, focus on the ball, be first to it.
18 minutes on the clock. Hartlepool United leading by 1-0, but it's a corner to Eastleigh. It's going to be an outswinger, Chris Maguire, to deliver it right to the front post, headed away by Pools, helped on by Featherstone, up to Joe Gray. He's the most advanced player in a blue and white shirt. And now a ball from Hendry towards Featherstone, just cut out, but Ferguson can latch onto the loose ball and gets fouled by Maguire. And that is a Pools free kick just short of the halfway line on this near side. With Pools leading by 1-0. Ferguson takes it short to Featherstone. Got Luke Hendry in loads of space out on the right hand side. Featherstone just ushers him into position and then clips it out to him, but the ball has dropped out and crossed the line for a throw-in as Richard Hill just takes a swig of water, then does a nice little juggle of the ball for the throw-in. Some scores to tell you about in the Premier League. The early kick-off, Luton 0, Tottenham 1. Tottenham were down to 10 men, but Van der Ven, the man who scored the goal in the second half for Ange Postecoglou to keep their run going at the top end of the Premier League. Burnley 1, Chelsea 0. Potential coup on Buster there. Everton leading Bournemouth by 1-0. It's Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0, and Manchester United 0, Brentford 0. With Palace against Nottingham Forest kicking off at 5:30. Pools in possession with Desirue in the centre circle, out to Hendry, feeds a through ball into O'Meara, but he's offside. And you see the frustration of the Pools number 9, but Desirue applauding the pass of Gray there and the vision from his teammate.
Yeah, I didn't think he had to go so early. They had quite a high line there. If he just held his line a little bit, he was in. So it'll be encouraging for Hartlepool if Eastleigh going to persist with that high line. The space is in behind. I think both lads will like the ball in behind there. They'll just don't be too eager to make that run.
Into the 20th minute, BBC Radio T Sport. We're on 95 FM. We're on DAB Digital Radio, Freeview 722. We're on the BBC Football website. Zach Johnson is surely fouled, but nothing given from the referee. And now the referee does blow, because Charlie Carter is fouled about 20 yards out. And this is in a very tempting position if you are Chris Maguire. Well, the referee marches out the yards. Was that a yellow card there? Did I miss that?
No, it was he didn't
just
give a card.
A stern talking to.
I thought it was a foul beforehand.
Yeah.
For Hartlepool. I thought the lad led with his elbow,
but not to be given.
Nah.
So free kick for Eastleigh. The wall has been marched out, measured out, and the spray put down onto the turf as Maguire just replaces the ball. He's got his right boot right underneath the ball. Now Maguire coming across to have a conversation with the referee. They are making the point that the Pools wall isn't back the correct distance. Maguire for Eastleigh, over the wall and into the back of the net. What a stunning free kick by Chris Maguire, who celebrates in front of the Neil Cooper stand, and he scores against the side that he initially signed for but didn't actually play for. He comes back to Hartlepool with a delightful free kick. It is level, it is 1-1, and Hartlepool United have to rally themselves again.
Yeah, moment of quality there from Maguire. He just started to get himself into the game. I said it was a bit of a dodgy free kick for me. I don't think it was I thought it was a foul beforehand, but Maguire showing his quality there and put a fantastic free kick into the top hand corner. Not much that Pete could do about the goal.
I mean, it has to be some quality to go over the wall and beat Pete Jameson on the side that he's standing on in that top corner.
Yeah, I was sometimes I think goalkeepers should always save them ones, but it was such a good. It was right in the top,
wasn't it? Yeah,
right in the top corner, and yeah.
That is, it was a good goal, a good free kick, and that is the quality that you get for somebody like Chris Maguire. 34 years of age, that's his 4th goal of the season to level the scoring. So the clean sheet for Pools at home. The wait goes on for that.
I think it's where Hartlepool plays. They've just got to be big. They've got to keep, for the next 5 minutes, see this little spell out. They've started the game really well. They've definitely been the better team. They can't let this goal, there's still a long way to go. They're in the game and playing some good football.
Well, to say Chris Maguire enjoyed that goal, Ben, is...
it's wound me up, and I'm not I don't even know the lad.
I was about to say, if you were a defender and somebody scored a goal against you and celebrated like that, the next thing you're doing is putting him into row Z, isn't it?
Yeah. Me or Nelson.
Yeah, you are Mickey Nelson, absolutely, yeah. On a reset, finds Crawford in space, striding into the opposition half, out to the left for Ferguson, twists, turns, finds Crawford in space, now to Amera, turning on the edge of the box, but he's going to have to bulldoze his way through. He's still going, Amera, shot is crowded out, falls to Crawford on this near side once more. This move still alive for Pools. Crawford now to Ferguson, who looks to deliver and does, but it's to the front post and headed away by the orange shirts. Crawford tries to get between the 2 orange shirts to win possession, but Lacey gets ahead on the clearance towards Hendry, circling away from his man. Now Featherstone, little drag back to keep possession, then clips it into space for Joe Gray. That was beautiful play from Featherstone. Gray keeps it in just on the byline, rolls his studs across the top of the ball, looks to try and find a way through, tries to feed the ball through the eye of a needle. It takes a deflection, and Jake Taylor can pick up possession for the Spitfires as the ball goes out of play for an Eastleigh throw-in deep inside their own half.
It's been a good game, both teams. I think it's been both teams looking to play. Again, you can just see the little bit of quality that Featherstone brings, doesn't he? He's just got a little bit of composure on the ball. He always wants the ball. I don't mind that, Joe. He's trying things. He's trying to find a pass in the final third. I think that's where you've got to try things, try and be inventive. I think the management team will be very happy with how they've played.
Elsewhere around the grounds this afternoon, the early kick-off you will have heard on BBC Radio T Sport. Borough fans, what an afternoon for you. Sunderland 0, Borough 4. Sunderland reduced to 10 men in that one. All the post-match reaction you'll find on our social media pages at BBC T Sport on X, formerly Twitter. You'll hear the thoughts of Sam Greenwood, one of the goal scorers, and head coach Michael Carrick up on there for you to listen to as and when you want. As Lacey has been booked there.
I think it was the manager, Rob.
Was it the manager? Was it John Askey?
I think so, yeah. John
Askey booked. Well, there's clearly... I mean, John Askey has to go somewhere to get a yellow card off a referee, doesn't he? Yeah. he's notoriously quite a reserved chap, but not this afternoon. And I suspect it's the referee getting underneath his skin a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, he's just... I think there may have been before the free kick. I think it was a free kick on Hartlepool that should have been given. I think John may be asking politely why it wasn't.
Or maybe not so politely, which is why he got the yellow. Throw into Pools. Hendry up towards Desiree, controls it on his chest, but just didn't watch his back and was dispossessed. So Eastleigh come forward once again, kept in by Lacey, headed forward by Carter. Baldwin goes down, but nothing given. Now Maguire, the scorer of that free kick a few moments ago. It's 1-1. Pools against Eastleigh in the National League, 10th v 7th. As Quigley receives it, he's having to hold off Zach Johnson and Tom Crawford, but those two combine well to just usher the man out of play. And it is an Eastleigh throw-in, quickly taken. Rutherford tries to skip past Ferguson, but Zach Johnson stands his ground well. Ferguson goes down the line to O'Meara, who's been dragged down, and the referee waves away the appeals. I am surprised at that one.
Yeah, I thought it was a foul.
It was right down in front of us, so we got a good view of it. There's certainly a handful of blue and white shirt there, but Eastleigh clear the lines on a reset. Is judged to have been fouled by Quigley, so Pools have a free kick, but Quigley has stayed down. Both of them fell quite hard on the turf.
That's a good one as a defender. You can see it bouncing, you can see the centre forward coming in, and you can just, shall we say, lean on him a little bit and give him a little, let him know that you're there.
Yes. Use your presence and all that. 28 minutes on the clock. Pools 1, Eastleigh 1. BBC Radio T Sport. Desiree controls it just beyond the halfway line. Hendry now to Nicky Featherstone, just occupying that deep lying midfield role. Now Zach Johnson finds Pools goal scoring Crawford, who goes back to Honorise at the base of the defence, as Ipswich has scored against Preston. Ipswich 1, Preston 0. Millwall leading Hull by a goal to 0, and Plymouth have scored to make it Plymouth 1, Swansea 0. Meanwhile, QPR 0, Blackburn 2, and Southampton are leading Rotherham by a goal to 0. So you're up to date with scores in the Championship, the early kick-off of which ended Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4. I think Neil Maddison will enjoy the rest of his afternoon after that one. Joe Gray in possession, keeps hold of it well, just beyond the halfway line, in front of the two dugouts over on the far side. Hendry towards O'Meara, but just can't keep hold of it. Hendry does well to read the passage of play and win it back. Now Crawford. Feeds a through ball in towards David Ferguson, who looks to deliver first time, but it's not the best cross from the Pools captain, but it's cleared into touch, and it is a Pools corner.
Yeah, with Hartlepool definitely look more dangerous down this left-hand side. Well, both sides actually. They both look really good down both sides. Good play again from Crawford. You can see he's just playing with confidence, a little outside of his boot. Fergie will be slightly disappointed because he's better than that. Fergie, he's got. He'd be disappointed that he never found the strikers in the middle. We've got a corner here.
Featherstone, both arms up in the air, so a different corner routine to what we saw previously. Featherstone to deliver right-footed. Right on top, drops inside the 6-yard box. A shot comes in there from Zach Johnson that took a wicked deflection. And Eastleigh clear. Heavy touch from Ferguson, but Featherstone wins it back. Midway inside the opposition half, Featherstone turns away from Maguire. The crowd like that. Desiree back into Featherstone, who pulls his man down. The referee gives nothing, and we play on. Baldwin back to Carter. Ball over the top that Honorise races back to, and it drops out for a Pools throw. Well, Ben Clark, you are our expert summariser, so I'm going to ask you a tricky question here. Explain to me how that wasn't a free kick.
See, I'm a defender. Do I side with the defender? No, it's definitely a foul. You know, Featherstone got his body in front of the defender, and you know, he felt the contact and he went down. It was 100% a foul, and very surprising it wasn't given. I think Hartlepool just need to keep playing through Featherstone.
Aaron Farmer, the man with the whistle this afternoon, is not endearing himself to the home crowd, but it is a throw-in to Pools. We'll be over to Darlington very shortly. Quakers at Tamworth this afternoon. Ray Simpson will keep us right up to date with that the next time this ball goes out of play for an update from the National League North. But at the minute, Pools 1, Eastleigh 1. Pools in possession. Hendry looks for a diagonal ball towards Desiree. He just gets caught there, and Eastleigh able to clear up towards Quigley. Well, Zach Johnson is watching him every step of the way. Ferguson picks up a loose pass. Now Honoré and Pools can build again here. From the halfway line, clipped over the top towards Crawford. He's onside. He's at the angle. Skips onto his right foot. He's in danger of being closed out, but he finds Desirue. Lays it off now for Hendry. They're queuing up inside the box. Hendry tries to go by himself. It's an easy save in the end by the opposition keeper, Joe McDonnell, who collapses on top of the ball. Let's go quickly over to Ray Simpson in the National League North, watching Tamworth against the Quakers.
29 minutes gone. It's Tamworth 1, Darlington 0. Quakers were getting on top. They had a couple of opportunities. Will Hatfield had forced the Tamworth keeper, Jazz Singh, into a couple of saves. Cameron Southgate would also gone close. But just a few moments ago, long throw in from the right-hand side by Cullen and Liebert. The down defence didn't fear it, and Jamie Willits had space to turn and prod the ball into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. It's Tamworth 1, Darlington 0.
Thank you, Ray. Ray Simpson, our man, keeping an eye on Darlington this afternoon at Tamworth. So not a good afternoon so far for the Quakers. Here in the National League, Pools 1, Eastleigh 1 on BBC Radio T Sport in the company of me, Rob Law. Got Ben Clark alongside as the former Pools defender, as Ferguson finds Josh O'Meara out on this near side. 32 minutes on the clock. A good afternoon of football already from a northeast perspective, as Borough won 4-0 at Sunderland. Pools inside the opposition penalty area with Joe Gray, who tried to deliver a low cross into the 6-yard area but had his cross blocked, and Eastleigh clear up to the halfway line for Honoré. Keeps the ball moving to find Featherstone. He invites the run forward from Zach Johnson, who obliges and crosses the halfway line now. Pools have so many blue and white shirts forward, Ben.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the start. I mean, they've got nearly everybody in the Eastleigh half. They're playing football, they're passing the ball well, everybody wants the ball. Like I said, the management were really pleased. It's just been that moment of quality from Maguire that got that to foul.
And then Josh O'Meara is brought down, but nothing given, as Chris Maguire clears for Quigley to latch onto, and he does now, but Honoré does very well to stand his ground and win possession, and he wags the finger, does Honoré.
He started the game well as well, hasn't he?
He's been an absolute wall at the back, Honoré, as Joe Gray finds the run of Desirue. Another goal at Darlington will be across there very shortly. In fact, as the ball arrives at the feet of Joe McDonnell. Let's go now, Ray Simpson. You got another goal so quickly, Ray.
Yeah, Tamworth has scored twice in 3 minutes. It's now Tamworth 2, Darlington 0, and Quakers trying to play the ball out from the back, knocking it around the 18-yard box, but they lost possession. And there was the number 20, Nathan Shikuna, who had time to line up a left foot shot, and he beat David Robson in the Darlington goal. It's Tamworth 2, Darlington 0.
Oh dear, I thought Ray was going to tell me about an equaliser, but it wasn't to be. They are 2-0 down, Darlington. It is bottom against top there in the National League North. As David Ferguson just steps across his man here to win a throw-in deep inside his own half. 35 minutes on the clock, a little bit of a reset for you then. Hartlepool United 1, Eastleigh 1. Pools taking the lead after just 8 minutes through Tom Crawford, who did well from distance to just side foot the ball past the opposition keeper after some good interplay by Pools in the build-up. And then Eastleigh levelled things after a free kick, which Pools will feel aggrieved by, because they possibly should have had a free kick just moments before the foul on Chris Maguire, who placed the ball down from about 20 yards out, clipped it over the wall and past Pete Jameson. A really high quality free kick to score to level things here. But since then, Pools have had the majority of possession. They've worked the ball well in tight areas. Eastleigh just sitting off and allowing Pools to have possession as Featherstone tries to unlock that orange wall at the back. Featherstone in possession on the halfway line, just runs away from his markers. Clipped with the outside of it. Yeah, he's just pulling the strings in midfield, Nicky Featherstone, rolling back the years, the 35-year-old, to find Zach Johnson. Now Crawford with some space to operate, picks out a pass to Luke Hendry wide on the right-hand side. The touchline, the chalk on his boots. Infield to edge of the area for O'Meara, being watched closely. O'Meara running away from goal, but then finds Hendry. in that right-hand side channel, tries a through ball, and Pools will get the corner, will they? Yes, they will, as the linesman flags. Pools' 4th corner of the game. As the ball girl, the little ball girl over there, just picked up the ball, ran over the corner quadrant and just plonked it down for Nikki Featherstone to go and take.
It's been seen with so many girls involved in football now, isn't it?
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And they have got a front row seat to watch this corner.
Loving it. Nikki
Featherstone to deliver, but the referee just holding up play for a little bit of pushing and shoving inside the area. Desirue, Honorise, Lacey all in there for Featherstone to try and pick out. He delivers now, an outswinger from Featherstone, might fall through to Crawford but cleared. David Ferguson just absolutely a lung-busting run to get across and pick up possession. He does. Featherstone in towards Joe Gray. Featherstone once more. Clips one, left-footed inside the area, but cleared only as far as Ferguson. Controls it on his thigh. Leaves it for Johnson. Just a wall of orange in front of Pools. Everyone back behind the ball for Eastleigh.
I think it's important they just keep passing the ball as they do and try and get Eastleigh to come out the slots.
That's what they're trying to do, aren't they? Just entice Eastleigh onto them. They've done now. Honorise finds Desirue, right-hand side of the penalty area, clips one up for Amera, but Amera had come short. Instead, it comes all the way through to Ferguson. Now Crawford, the goal scorer for Pools, clips it into the area for Amera, swings his right boot at it first time, hits it on the volley. An easy save in the end for Joe McDonnell, but confidence from Amera there to latch onto the end of that first time, hit it and get it on target. It is still 1-1, but a chance for Amera there.
Yeah, that's where he wants it, in and around the box where you can feel the centre-half getting really tight with him. Swivels, lovely little ball in by Crawford, and didn't quite get the connection he got, but he made the goalkeeper make a save.
Yes, Amera currently on his longest spell at the club without a goal, 9 games. Before that, he'd only ever gone 7 games without a goal, Amera. Oh, what a ball from Nikki Featherstone to try and pick out Luke Hendry if he can keep it in. Oh, just runs away from him. But again, listen to that applause, and that applause is all for the former Pools captain, Nikki Featherstone.
It's been a little bit of a clinic first half. I mean, I'm glad I'm doing I would have paid to come in today to watch Featherstone. He's been that good. He's been really good. Him and Crawford are the other playing with a little bit of swagger, and you can just see, I think what he's brought in confidence to the whole team. Featherstone, he knows that he'll handle the ball. And like I said, it's been a clinic first half. He's been absolutely fantastic.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, you know. And I mean that in the sense that it probably just shows you how bad a decision it was to allow him to leave in the first place. From a a negative point of view, as Desirue does well. Now Amera tries to bulldoze his way through, but the referee shakes his head once more. Do you know what? I feel Josh Amera, because he does like to get involved in the pushing and the shoving and the scrap, he does like the fight, Josh Amera.
Back, doesn't he?
I wonder if he's almost tainted with that brush of every time he goes down. Well, it was probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and referees just don't give him the benefit of the doubt. There's Lacey, and Pools win a free kick, and now Eastleigh have a man down, stricken. And I think it's Charlie Carter, the number 7, who was one of 3 changes this afternoon from Richard Hill, the Eastleigh manager. It's his 2nd season at the club for Carter. Got 11 goals last season, in a season where they finished 9th, just missing out on the playoffs by 4 points, Eastleigh. And it was really their away form that cost them. They won just 5 on the road. They're doing much better this season. Zach Johnson in possession for Pools. Oh, heavy back pass from Crawford. Opens it up for Baldwin, but what a sliding challenge from Manny Honorise. A goal-saving challenge from Honorise. He's done that time and time again this season. He is Mr. Reliable at the back. He shall not be passed this afternoon. What a challenge. What a recovery from Pools at the back.
That was outstanding.
That was as good as a goal, Ben.
I was going to say that was as good as a goal. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have been harsh on Crawford because he has had such a good half, but that's what you hope. You just hope your defender can come up with a big tackle, and like I said, I think he started the game excellently as well. He looks really up for the game today.
Oh, now Crawford tries to unpick the Eastleigh defence with a through ball to Ferguson, but Eastleigh are able to clear into touch, and Pools have a throw in. Well, that might have just woken everybody up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pools have been excellent. I think they've been really the dominant side. I mean, Eastleigh have had that one free kick, and I think Hartlepool have been absolutely excellent and definitely lucky not to be winning this game.
Ferguson combining with Crawford stamps the ball down into the turf. Oh, the clearance from Taylor there just rebounds. Every time Chris Maguire gets the ball, you might be able to hear the boos on the effects mic for his celebrations after his free kick was scored. Now Charlie Carter striding forward, chance on goal, but just blocked by Lacey, and the ball bounces, rebounds behind for an Eastleigh corner with 4 minutes left to go at the end of this first half, and the score's level at 1-1. But just going back to that tackle from Manny Onarise, a brilliant piece of play from him. And you've got to be brave in that moment. You know, as a defender.
It could have been a red card, or you know what I mean. He could have just left it up for his goalkeeper, but it was a fantastic challenge that he had to make.
Corner for Eastleigh, swung in by Maguire, helped back out towards Maguire though. The offside flag, Pools are waiting for it, but it's not going to come. Maguire now delivers eventually, high into the area. Oh, so much space there for Baldwin, but his touch is heavy. Taylor floats it back into the area once more. It comes across the face of goal and eventually drops out for a Pools goal kick, but a little bit shaky at the back there, Pools.
They look dangerous when the balls are coming into the box, especially from set plays, because Eastleigh have got some big players.
But as a defender, Ben, and you'll know this, having pulled on that blue and white shirt, having played in games like this, and no doubt having faced situations like this, like that we saw with Onarise sliding in on Baldwin, you have to be brave, but you also have to be so sure that you are going to get that ball,
because I think he had no other choice though, because he was so committed to it. But it was a fantastic tackle, a really good tackle. If he didn't get the tackle, he's going to score. The lad's going to score.
Well, if he gets that wrong, it's a goal or it's a penalty.
Definitely. I think the way he started the game as well has helped him. I think he's so confident. He knows he's at the moment he's winning the battle against it quickly, and I think he was so, like I say, he's so confident at the moment, and it was a fantastic tackle.
A chance for Baldwin to just try and get on the end of this. The ball just wriggles away from him and out of play, but it is going to be a throw-in for the Spitfires as we tick round to the final 60 seconds of the first 45. That the indication for many to make their way to the food trucks and the kiosks. It's going to be a long throw here from Eastleigh. The referee once more watching very closely to the pushing and shoving inside the area. Throwing arches into the Pools penalty area, headed away by Onarise once more. And then a free kick. Is he saying that was offside? Is that a free? Well, Aaron Farmer is
offside.
Is he throwing?
Is it?
He's saying it's a Pools throwing. It's well.
Is it a foul throw? Does it change?
I think it might be. Well, the blast of the whistle you can hear in the background, everybody listening at home, is because the referee is being very precise about where the throw-in needs to be taken. But it is now taken. And they're cleared by Eastleigh into the Cyril Knoll stand for a Pools throw-in. So 2 minutes of stoppage time. You might have heard Greg on the PA system there, telling everybody inside the ground we have 2 minutes of stoppage time to play at the end of this first half. A first half which has been very entertaining. There's Manny Onarise in a foot race here with Baldwin, and Onarise just has to make sure by putting it behind for a corner, because he had Baldwin racing down behind him and he wasn't too sure where his help was there.
Have just gone a little bit
shaky.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes. We've got to deal with this corner. I still think they're Pete and centre halves can help them. Just a bit more communication between them.
Well, Eastleigh have some tall bodies in the box to pick from, none more so than Scott Quigley, who is at the back post. There's also Trent Randall in there as well. Chris Maguire to deliver this corner, an outswinger and boomed up into the air by Lacey. Carter underneath it, but Pools are able to clear out for another throw into the final 40 seconds of stoppage time, as Halifax have taken the lead against Ebbsfleet. Chesterfield lead Boreham Wood by 1-0. Matty Nixon bringing you a full roundup of all the half-time scores from around the grounds. It's one apiece here though, as Joe Gray, his clearance takes a deflection, so Pools have a goal kick, and you would expect that that would be about that once Pete Jameson launches this one upfield. But overall, Ben, an entertaining game of football as the skies just get a little bit darker and greyer above us. I think we might be in for some rain second half, but we've been in for some entertainment in the first 45 as a referee.
I think they've been excellent, Hartlepool. I think they've been the dominant team. They've played their football. I think bringing Featherstone back into the club's been a good move on this 45 minutes show, and I think he's dictated the game. Crawford's looked good, you know, he looked confident. I think Joe Gray's found it good as well in spaces. They've definitely been the most dominant team, and I think the only disappointment is they give a free kick away in a very dangerous position, and Maguire showed his quality with the result. But I think the management team will be delighted with Pools in the first half.
So the end of the first 45, all to play for as the teams head down the tunnel to get their respective messages from the managers. But Pools opened the scoring after just 8 minutes, so they started the game really with the wind in their sails. Matty, Joe Gray combining well with Luke Hendry over on the far side, making their way into the edge of the penalty area. Hendry laying it off into the path of Tom Crawford, just on the edge of the D, who just felt the ball past the goalkeeper, low down to his left-hand side to give Pools the lead. But that lead didn't last very long. A free kick from Chris Maguire, the former Poolie who never actually played for the club, but certainly was unveiled as an initial signing at one point under the dark days of Paul Hartley. Won the free kick, which Pools will feel aggrieved by. They had what looked like a foul just moments before that free kick was given the other way, and Maguire placing the ball down, lifting it over the wall and past Pete Jameson into the top corner. It was a peach of a free kick, and his celebrations certainly painted the target on his back for the rest of this game. Every time he touches the ball, he's been met with boos in that first half. But Pools sort of finding their feet after a shaky few minutes following that goal, and a chance for Josh O'Meara, who had the ball clipped into his path from Tom Crawford, turning with his initial movement, hitting it first time as well on the volley, drawing a save from Joe McDonald down to his right hand side. And then with 5 minutes left to go at the end of the first half, Tom Crawford, who has been brilliant in the first 45, a misplaced back pass that was picked up by Enzio Baldwin, breaking through on goal. It looked, as he was one-on-one with Pete Jameson, like he was just going to slot it past the Pools keeper and put Eastleigh into the lead. But little did we know that Manny Onarise read the play, broke through, down on his man and slid in, winning the ball. A beautiful sliding challenge, which was as good as a goal from a Pools perspective. At the break, all to play for, we're level. It's Pools 1, it's Eastleigh 1.
So, Rob, Ben, from where I'm sitting, it sounds as though Pools have had the better of it and probably should be ahead out of the two sides.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pools have been excellent. Second time I've came to the game, this is a vast improvement on the performance that I've seen in the previous game. I think Featherstone's been outstanding in the middle of the park. They've played football, they've been brave, they haven't gone too long at times, but they've been really impressive. And I think it was only that moment of quality from Maguire from the free kick, which was, I think it was a foul beforehand that should have been given to Pools really. But like I said to Rob there, I think the management team will be delighted the way Pools have played.
Well, Rob, Ben, I'll let you go and get your half-time cuppers. Thank you very much indeed. Back for second half commentary up at Hartlepool very shortly indeed. Well, I'll have all the rest of the scores for you from up and down the country after this.
Service!
On BBC iPlayer.
Have you seen my sugar?
Yeah, it's over here, girl.
Oh, definitely not sweet enough. No chance.
A brand new drama starring Vanette Robinson and Stephen Graham.
This is impossible. I need help, please.
Don't worry, I've got it.
No.
It's like working with a bunch of school kids.
Calm down.
No, I'm not going to calm down. I've had enough.
What happened last time you lost your temper in the kitchen?
He's all used to work for me. If it wasn't for here, I'd still have my own restaurant.
Boiling Point. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Proud to follow Hartlepool United.
BBC Radio Tees
Sport.
Yes, a very good afternoon. We're keeping you bang in touch with Pools against Eastleigh in our 3 o'clock kickoff today here on BBC Radio Tees Sport. It's all square at the break.
Right-hand side is Hendry, gets it back from Joe Gray. That's good into play. Crawford is calling for it, edge of the area, and he's right-footed shot is buried by Tom Crawford. And that is Pool's first goal in 3 games. The drought is over. Hartlepool United take the lead inside 8 minutes against Eastleigh. You can sense the relief around the ground, but Pools take the advantage early on. They lead Eastleigh by 1-0, and it's courtesy of Crawford, who buries his 3rd of the season. Maguire for Eastleigh, over the wall and into the back of the net. What a stunning free kick by Chris Maguire, who celebrates in front of the Neil Cooper stand, and he scores against the side that he initially signed for but didn't actually play for. He comes back to Hartlepool with a delightful free kick. It is level, it is 1-1, and Hartlepool United have to rally themselves again.
So at the break, it's Pools 1, Eastleigh 1. Elsewhere in the National League in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, it's Bournemouth 0, Chesterfield 1, Ebbsfleet 0, Halifax 1 is the latest score, as is Gateshead 0, Altrincham 0, Kidderminster 0, Wealdstone 0, Maidenhead United 0, Rochdale 1, Oldham 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Oxford City 1, AFC Fylde 0, Solihull 0, Aldershot 0, Woking 0, Southend 1, York 1, Bromley 0, and Dorking against Barnet is a 5:30 kickoff. Into the Premier League then, in the early kickoff, it finished Luton 0, Tottenham 1. In the half-times in the Premier League, it's Burnley 1, Chelsea 1, Everton 2, Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0, and Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. The 5:30 today sees Crystal Palace host Nottingham Forest. We might mention it once or twice in the Championship. Early kick-off today, finished Sunderland 0, the Borough 4. More on that very shortly. Elsewhere in the Championship, in the 3 o'clock kick-offs, half-times, Cardiff 1, Watford 0, Coventry 0, Norwich 1, Ipswich 3, Preston 1, Leeds 1, Bristol City 1, Leicester 1, Stoke 0, Millwall 1, Hull 2, Plymouth 1, Swansea 0, QPR 0, Blackburn 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Huddersfield 0, and Southampton 1, Rotherham United 0. Into League One then, an early kick-off there finished Oxford United 2, I should say, Bristol Rovers 1. Elsewhere, it's at the break, Bolton 1, Carlisle 1, Charlton 0, Blackpool 1, Cheltenham 1, Derby 1, Exeter 0, Barnsley 0, Fleetwood 0, Wickham 3, Leyton Orient 1, Reading 1, Peterborough 0, Lincoln City 0, Portsmouth 0, Port Vale 0, Shrewsbury 0, Northampton 0, and Stevenage 1, 10-man Wigan 0. Into League Two then finally, half-time scores: Accrington 1, Forest Green 0, Barrow 0, Notts County 1, Bradford 0, Swindon 0, Colchester 0, Morecambe 1, Crawley 0, Wrexham 1, Gillingham 1, MK Dons 0, Mansfield Town 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0, Harrogate 1, Salford 1, Crewe 1, Stockport 0, Doncaster 0, Sutton 4, Walsall 0, and finally Tranmere Rovers 1, Grimsby Town 2.
BBC Radio Tees Sport.
Right, let's get the latest from our National League North games now then, and starting down at Tamworth, where Darlington are up against Tamworth this afternoon. Ray Simpson's keeping an eye on this one for us.
Half-time here at the Lamb. It's Tamworth 2, Darlington 0, and Quakers had a good first 25 minutes, but then they conceded twice in the space of 3 minutes to put them in arrears at half-time. They had a chance on 11 minutes. Jacob Hazel played a good crossfield pass from right to left for Cameron Sackles to control, step inside, and it's a low right foot shot that Tamworth keeper Jazz Singh saved low down to his right. They broke well again on 20 minutes. A patient build-up involving several players ended with Mitch Curry playing the ball in front of the right for Will Hatfield. Hit a dipping right foot shot that went just over the bar. And they had another chance on 26 minutes when they won the ball inside the Tamworth half, and Hazel laid the ball off for Hatfield to try a left foot shot that the keeper again saved low down. Tamworth had a couple of opportunities, one of them to Ty Deacon, who slipped away in the area and pulled a left foot shot across the face of goal. But just as it seemed the Quakers were getting in control, the home side scored. The Dartleton defence didn't clear a long throw from Cullinane Liebert from the right, and Jimmy Willits had time and space to turn and knock the ball into the bottom right hand corner of the net. It was 2-0 just 3 minutes later when Quakers lost the ball in their own 18-yard box when they were trying to play it out, and Nathan Shakuna fired left-footed past Robson. Quakers were stunned by the 2-goal blast, and it was nearly 3-0 when Curley broke down the right, crossed low to the far post, and Hatfield just managed to get the ball out for a corner. Half-time, Tamworth 2, Darlington 0.
So that's how it is for the Quakers down at Tamworth. I can tell you that Spennymoor Town, through that man yet again, Glenn Taylor, took the lead just on the stroke of half-time. So it is Spennymoor Town 1, Rushall Olympic 0 at the Brewery Field. Right, let's rewind a bit then. Let's play the goal, shall we? It was too good not to. Earlier today here on BBC Radio T Sport, it was the Borough who came out on top in the Weartees derby.
Proud to follow the Borough.
BBC Radio T's Sports.
That might be that for the first half. Oh, hang on, a red card. Who? It's a red card. Is that Neil who's been sent off? And you watched that monitor, Neil, because I was looking down, turned, looked up, and Sunderland have had a man sent off. Well, nobody's left the field yet, but Jared Gillett turned, flourished a red card, and it looked to be a straight red as well.
I haven't got a clue what he's done.
I would love to tell you what's happened, but I'm afraid all I can tell you with any certainty is that Dan Neil has been sent off. Sunderland are down to 10 men just before the break. Engel hits it from 30 yards out, and he hit it true, but it went into a crowd, and it's ricocheted out to the left where Dale Fry's playing left wing. He's done it really well. Low cross. Oh! It's Sam Greenwood. Dale Fry, low cross, first time finish by Greenwood, and it's the Sunderland lad who puts Borough in front on Derby Day.
Oh, what a ball. Dale Fry on the wing, goes down, puts a ball in near post, and there he is, Sam Greenwood. Bang! 1-0 the Borough.
Now Jones against Clark. Oh, he's beaten him from the right-hand side. He's into the box. It could be a chance for the second.
Get it, Crooks! Beauty!
Middlesbrough are blowing Sunderland away here in the second half. Jones, the creator, Matt Crooks from under the crossbar, gleefully slams it into the net. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 2.
Oh, what a finish that is. And I tell you what play from Isaiah Jones. He's direct, he gets at him, and he picks out a beautiful ball. Matt Crooks, thank you very much. Bang! 2-0 to the Borough.
Morgan Rogers dispossesses Bellingham in the centre circle. He's released Jones. Jones into the box on his left foot. Just the keeper to beat! And he has done! It's 3. It's Isaiah Jones. And it is now a Derby tonking.
Oh, and don't we love it? Don't we absolutely love it?
Good ball. Rogers. Space in the middle of the pitch for him as he controls in the centre circle. Silvera to his left, Bangura outside him. Silvera keeps going. Latilas making a move in the box. Hits the keeper out to Fours. Number 4. Icing on the cake. Marcus Fours makes it Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get in there.
Oh, get in there, you little beauty.
BBC Radio Tees Sports.
Not a derby, though, is it? Not a derby. Well, they'll tell you that. Anyhow, let's hear from the Borough head coach, Michael Carrick, who spoke to Mark afterwards.
Well, Michael, how do you sum up what's happened here this afternoon?
Yeah, obviously a lot's gone on today. I thought we started the game really well. I thought we took control of it. I thought we, the two boys in midfield, give us settled everything down, give us a good rhythm. I thought with the boys kind of diffused the atmosphere in many ways really well. There was one instance when Josh got fouled in front of us here from, I think it was Bellingham, and then Roberts goes straight up the end and has a big chance, which we felt we should have had a foul for, but it changed the stadium for the next 5 or 6 minutes. And Senny, it was a massive save from Senny, so we need him in certain moments. Goalkeepers have to make big saves in big moments in games, and he certainly did that again today for us. And then that changed the atmosphere a little bit, probably till half time. Sending off obviously triggers everything. And it was important we just were calm second half, but had the right mentality to not come out thinking 10 men is a little bit easier than it was first off, because it's not like that. But I thought the boys approached it really well, really intense, really aggressive, kept pressing, kept regaining the ball and playing positive, and in the end we got the scoreline that we wanted.
Funny how things work out, isn't it? I remember talking to you here pretty much this time last year after Dale Fry had been sent off, and that changed the game. This time it's gone in your favour. It's clearly a much nicer feeling this afternoon.
Yeah, of course. These games and these atmospheres tend to throw up something, and it's how you deal with it, really. Last year it went in their favour. This year you could argue it's gone in our favour, but I think what I'm more pleased about really is the way we kind of approached the second half, and we're ruthless, and the standards that we've set ourselves, we kept pushing, and I was delighted to share the goals out, keep a clean sheet. The bench had a massive impact again, which is really encouraging, because we'll need everyone moving forward.
BBC Radio Tees Sports.
Borough head coach Michael Carrick there. We'll bring you that in full at full time up in Hartlepool. Let's head back there for second half commentary in the National League then. It's Eastleigh against Pools in the company of Ben Clark and Rob Law.
Perfect timing. The referee just checking with both keepers and his linesman, all of which give the thumbs up. Second half ready to get going as and when Aaron Farmer fully decides to. I mean, he's still checking his watch. I've never known this. There you go. There, well done.
Steps in,
what you need to do is take that little thing, put it in your mouth, and then, give it a blast, and you'll be sound. There we are. We're underway. No changes for either side. So Pools with Pete Jameson in goal. A back three. Zach Johnson on loan from Sunderland. Manion Arise, who made that goal-saving challenge in the first half, and Alex Lacey. The wing-backs of Luke Hendry and captain David Ferguson, with Tom Crawford, goal scorer for Pools, Nicky Featherstone and Joe Gray, hopefully supplying things to Josh O'Meara and Manny Dizaruwe up front. As for the opposition in Eastleigh, no changes for them. Joe McDonnell in goal, back three of Ludwig Franzleit, George Langson and Trent Rendell, with the wing-backs of Oscar Rutherford and Billy Clements. Chris Maguire, the goal scorer for Eastleigh, alongside Jake Taylor and Charlie Carter in midfield, supplying Enzio Baldwin and Scott Quigley up front. The ball out of play for Pools throw-in midway inside the opposition half. Pools attacking from left to right in this first half towards the town end, which I have to say is sparsely populated. More on that shortly as Crawford nutmegs his man, tries to find Ferguson, but Taylor puts the ball out for a throw-in. The attendance confirmed 3,521, which is just under 500 down on the last home game. And it looks that way as well inside the ground, it has to be said. Throwing towards Manny Dizaruwe on the byline, trying to outmuscle his man, but he's just outnumbered Dizaruwe, as Eastleigh clear only as far as Lacey. Now to Hendry, peeling away to this near side. Gives it back to Lacey. Infield now for Featherstone. That's better from Pools. Featherstone finds Crawford. He's got options to his left and right. Joe Gray is one of them. He finds him now. Collects it, does Gray. Out to Luke Hendry. This is good patient build-up from Pools. Hendry stabs it into the path of O'Meara. Holds his man off. Gets his shot away through the legs of Rendell. But saved down low by Joe McDonnell. It was an opportunity for Pools. It was good strength and endeavour from O'Meara, but a comfortable save in the end down low by McDonnell.
Yeah, I think another good start there from Hartlepool. Started the half really well, passing the ball well. I think, if anything, the management team will be more than happy with the general play. It's just, I think, that last little bit, the more efforts at goal. You can see the strikers are searching for a goal a little bit, scratching at things. But I think the general play has been really, really good. And hopefully they can continue that. We just get more shots into the second half, attacking the town end.
And Ben, throughout your career, you have played against and also no doubt in your week, like training against some really good strikers who are part of your team. They are a strange beast, aren't they, in the fact that confidence is such a big part of what they do, and for Josh O'Meara, no goal in 9, for Manny Desirue, no goal in 7. Like you described there, they look short of confidence as well, don't they?
I was watching them a little bit in the warm-up as well. They were just snatching at things a little bit. They weren't really taking that little bit extra time. So I think you could do with one going in off the back or something like that. That'll get them going, because I'm sure they're still trying, working hard on things in training, which I know Sweens will have them doing that anyway. But you can just see that they are searching for that little bit of goal. I'm sure if they do get the goal, the confidence will.
Well, Josh O'Meara took a whack on his ankle as he won the ball there, but Eastleigh also have a man down in Billy Clements. Joe Gray. Clements is still down. Gray runs straight past him, lays it off to Crawford, 25 yards out. Crawford, right-footed shot, takes a wicked deflection and goes behind for a Pools corner there, 5th of the afternoon, and now Billy Clements will get checked on by the referee. Clements just grasping at his left ankle, it looks like.
I think it was just a coming together. I don't think there was anything in it. See Hartlepool have started on the front foot again, which will delight the management team.
Featherstone coming across to take this corner. Gets a shout from a young fan as well, who he gives the thumbs up to. Billy Clements back up on his feet, hobbling very heavily in towards the penalty area. There is a single line, like a queue at a supermarket, inside the penalty area for Pools at the minute. That line will break as the linesman is stood right in between Featherstone and the ball. Featherstone delivers, right-footed, right on top of the goalkeeper, who drops it. It might fall for Crawford. It's hooked away by Rendell, only as far as Maguire. Tries to pluck the ball out of the air, and he does. Rendell completes a clearance deep into the Pools half of play. Well, that was hearts in mouths for a moment there after Joe McDonald dropped that. Bit of butterfingers from the Eastleigh keeper as Desirue wins the ball for O'Meara, lifted back over the top towards Desirue, shrugs his man off just on the edge of the area, finds Gray now. Luke Henry looks to deliver first time to the back post over the head of David Ferguson. You could have stacked 3 David Ferguson on top of each other then. They probably still wouldn't have got to that.
No, it's nice to get Fergie in the box. I think they one wing back crossing the ball, get the opposite wing back in at the back post there, just a little bit overhit. But again, that was good play there from Desiree, the centre forward, held that up really well, laid it back to Gray. Gray back into the box.
Throw into the home side then. Eastleigh, who started off the season on a poor run of form, really, went 5 games without a win, with just 1 win in their opening 8 games, but since then they've well and truly turned a corner. Just 1 defeat in their last 6, back-to-back wins, looking to make it 3 on the bounce this afternoon for the first time since February of last season.
I think that just sums up the National League, isn't it? Yeah. That's what it's like. Teams can go periods without winning games, and they can go on long periods winning games. So it's such a competitive league. Crawford,
right-hand side of play, finds Ferguson, some space for him, but it's quickly closed down. Some good defending there. That was by Charlie Carter, who's back doing his defensive duties. Pools have a throw-in. Keep you up to date with scores from around the grounds as we go this afternoon on BBC Radio T Sport. We're on 95 FM, we're on DAB Digital Radio, Freeview 722, and available online by the BBC Sport website. Thank you for your company this afternoon, however you are listening to us. Is 1 apiece here in the National League. Pools hosting Eastleigh, 10th against 7th. Pools looking for just their 2nd ever win over Eastleigh. This is the 9th meeting between the two sides. Pools have only ever won once. That was back in 2017 when Nicky Featherstone played that afternoon. He is the only remaining player as Pools get a free kick for handball. Taken quickly. Featherstone, who very much ran the show in the first half from a Pools perspective, finds Onarise, goes back to his goalkeeper. Just to confirm the attendance once more, 3,521. That includes 44 who have made the long old journey from Eastleigh. That is not a short journey to make.
Fair play, that's excellent, isn't it? Yeah.
Featherstone receives it from Crawford. Just gets outnumbered there, Featherstone. Taylor finds Carter, who is able to accelerate across the halfway line, but what a sliding challenge there from Joe Gray, who tracked the runner, dispossessed his man. Now Crawford on the halfway line, infield to Gray. He's got Hendry to his right, he's got Amera directly in front of him. He's hoping for Amera to come short. He finds him now. Back to Hendry, and Amera combined once again on this near side. Hendry delivers it into the box. Desirue is there! And Desirue scores! That's his first goal in 7 games! And what an outpour of emotion from Manny Desirue! You can't keep a good man down for long. And Manny Desirue takes his tally to 7 for the season. We may have had to wait a little while longer than we would have expected for that 7th, but it's come eventually, and you can see the relief on his face as he celebrates in front of the Cyril Knowles stand. Pools take the lead. They go 2-1 up against Eastleigh.
An absolute brilliant goal again. You can't underestimate the tackle Joe Gray did there. Eastleigh were on the counter-attack. He came back, done his work, got the ball back, played some lovely play there with Hendry. It was a great quality from Hendry, great cross, and exactly what Desiree wanted. In between the 6-yard box, diving header, bottom corner, fantastic goal.
Well, what were we just saying about strikers and confidence, eh?
Agreed. Yeah, he'll be wanting the ball now. He'll be wanting. There we go. Look at his attitude now. He's gone after the ball. Fantastic.
You can't keep a good man down for long. And Manny Desirue wins possession. He's caught Jake Taylor in. And Pools play on. Desirue goes down to Amera. Amera tried to strike the ball from about 35 yards out. I think he was almost working off the same adrenaline that Manny Desirue was on, but it was a different result as Amera skews his clearance. He looks down at the turf.
Blame the turf.
Yeah, blame the grass.
You just see Manny there, you know, the work rate, the energy. I mean, I must admit, I was really impressed the last game he played as well. He's a very good focal point, but don't get like goal scorers. They're always judged on goals, and he'd be delighted with that.
Now Chris Maguire picks up possession for Eastleigh. Through ball wide to the left-hand side of the penalty area for Quigley. Hooked back up into the area, headed away by Pools, and now Eastleigh a little bit stretched in midfield. Crawford slows the ball down a little bit, finds Joe Gray in the centre circle. Gray then continues his run, gets it back from Luke Hendry. Gray to Hendry once more, short to Amera, clipped over the corner for Joe Gray, right hand side of the penalty area. He's still going, Joe Gray, but just crowded out at the vital moment, and Joe Gray lets out a roar at the town end as the ball goes behind for a Pools corner.
Yeah, he's looked lively all game, Joe Gray, getting in great spaces. I just think if he could have done that first time, Desiree was in there for a tap in, but this is what Hartlepool's about. This is the crowd, you can hear them, and I'm very jealous.
You'd love to be out there, wouldn't you? Corner for Pools. Featherstone to deliver. And we've got now is a pushing and shoving going in there. I think Tom Crawford got a whack in the face there, but we're back to the supermarket queue at the checkouts, all waiting for the self-service.
Yeah.
Manny Desirue just getting a talking to, as is Enzio Baldwin inside the area. It's like the thing that school teachers used to do, isn't it? Right, you two, you go sit in that corner and you go sit over there. Corner to Pools. Featherstone to deliver. It's a good one. It's to Crawford, who just heads it wide. The right-hand post of Joe McDonnell. He buries his face in his hands, Tom Crawford, because that could have been his second of the afternoon. Didn't quite get the connection he would have wanted. It's still Pools 2, Eastleigh 1.
You can see the Pools do a lot of work on the set plays. They look dangerous. You know, Featherstone's got all the signals that they can do, but I think the second half we've seen a lot more attentive goal, which will delight the supporters and the management, I'm sure.
As Chelsea have taken the lead against Burnley, they were 1-0 down Maurizio Pochettino's side, but they turned it round, leading 2-1. Meanwhile, still Everton 2, Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0, Brentford 1, and Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest, a 5:30 kick-off. So you're up to date with scores in the Premier League. The early kick-off was Luton 0, Spurs 1. I'll run you around the scores elsewhere in the Championship very shortly. For Borough fans who are still with us after their save there from Pete Jameson, who just had to keep an eye on that. I think it took a bit of a deflection, that cross, as it was coming in.
Watch that all the way. He did well there, Pete.
In the Championship then, the early kick-off, Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4, reaction of which you can find on our social media channels at BBC Tees Sport, to hear from Sam Greenwood, one of the goal scorers, and head coach Michael Carrick. Meanwhile, Cardiff 1, Watford 1, Coventry 0, Norwich 1, Ipswich 3, Preston 1, Leeds 1, Bristol City 1, it's Leicester 1, Stoke 0, Millwall 2, Hull 2, Plymouth 1, Swansea 1, QPR 0, Blackburn 2, goalless between Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield, and Southampton still leading Rotherham by 1-0. So you're up to date with the scores in the Championship. Here, Hartlepool United 2, Eastleigh 1. The goals from Tom Crawford in the first half, a strike from distance, and moments ago a Manny Desirue header, his first goal in 7 games, to give him his 7th of the season. Featherstone in possession, midway inside the opposition half, goes past Maguire, finds Ferguson out on the left-hand side, on the touchline, drives infield now, finds Amera, heavy first touch, tries to flick it behind, it might come out to Crawford, who keeps the move alive. Amera sliding in and winning the ball, a bit unorthodox, but he wins it, and he wins a free kick as well, and that is the first free kick Josh Amera has won all afternoon long. He's been given nothing from the referee, Aaron Farmer, all game, but finally he has a free kick for Pools on the edge of the area.
Yeah, good play there, good centre forward play from Josh. You know, I think he's one of them. If I played with him, I can see us falling out, like, but I can see he's a handful. You know, he's won the free kick, and he's got the free kick. He's not letting anyone get anywhere near it, but he's all-hearted. I don't mind that. You know what I mean? A centre forward want to have a free shot from just outside the box.
Well, David Ferguson just went over there and whispered something in his ear. I do wonder if it was, leave it, I'll take this. But Josh Amera is unmoved next to the ball.
He's a big lad.
He is a big lad. You wouldn't disagree with him, would you?
Go on, Josh, you take it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, a second thought you of it. Josh Amera then. There is a 3-man Eastleigh wall. It's left of the D. Josh Amera fancies this. A puff of the chest, right-footed, over the wall and over the crossbar. But it took a touch.
Not a bad effort.
And a Pools corner.
It's where Hartlepool have to try and get into the goal. The play deserves. They've been dominant in the second half and deserve another goal.
Corner from the far side. This time the pushing and shoving continues inside the penalty area. Manion Arise is having a shoving match with George Langston in there, as Gateshead trailing by 1-0 against Altrincham. Corner to Pools then. 62 minutes on the clock. Pools leading by 2-1. Josh Amera right underneath the nose of the opposition goalkeeper Joe McDonnell. Featherstone taking his time about it, delivers it into the area, headed away. Desirue goes down inside the box, but nothing given despite the appeals from the crowd. As the ball girl gives the ball quickly to Luke Hendry, who's calling for it. She gets a nice round of applause from the Neil Cooper stand, which is nice to see. Luke Hendry with the ball at his feet. Pete Jameson just asking his players in front of him to calm it down a little bit. You can see him gesturing time and time again.
I think what Hartlepool have done well today is they've played out from the back a lot more, haven't they? They've played out from the back. They've gone through the thirds, which is sometimes when you have two target men up front who like the ball to them, you can get bogged down by going long. But I think Hartlepool have done that really well today.
Ball over the top for Enzio Baldwin to chase onto, but it skips up off the turf and into the arms of Jameson. Balls it out to Zach Johnson. Now O'Meara, centre of the pitch. Luke Hendry's making a run, but has to just halt that momentarily. Now Joe Gray feeds it through to O'Meara, right hand side. Desirue inside the box, the cross takes a deflection, bounces away from Gray, and hooked up into the afternoon sky by Taylor. Maguire, well, goes down, but nothing given from the referee. Crawford picks up possession. Hendry clips it into the channel, but O'Meara was offside, so couldn't chase it. And that allows Trent Rendell, the QPR loanee, to sweep up the danger back to his goalkeeper. Well, 64 minutes on the clock. Pools 2, Eastleigh 1 on BBC Radio T's Sport with me, Rob Law. Got Ben Clark, the former Hartlepool United defender, alongside me. This National League fixture. And Pools with the lead, looking for their first win after 3 defeats on the spin. Joe Gray.
Just playing with so much confidence.
Yeah, he is. Just pinged the ball out to the left for Crawford, who is running at his man. That man is Taylor. He stops the ball dead. Back to Gray. Hendry's in the centre of the pitch if he wants him. Instead, he goes out to the left once more for Ferguson. Pools just slowly building the momentum here, just turning the screw, trying to find a way through. Patient build-up play. Desirue, who's dropped deep, out to this right-hand side for Hendry. Joe Gray calling for it inside the area to Desirue!
Yeah, what a goal that is!
Desirue
what a goal that is!
From inside 6 yards! You wait 7 games for a goal, and 2 come in the space of a matter of minutes. Manny Desirue strikes again. He makes it 8 for the season. He makes it 3 for Pools on the afternoon as they lead Eastleigh. Desirue celebrates with the Pools supporters. You can sense the relief around the ground. Hartlepool United could well be on their way to victory. Pools 3, Eastleigh 1.
What a great goal again. I think we know we've mentioned him a lot, but I think Joe Gray just really come in the second half. He's had a little bit of a free roll, went across the pitch. I think him and Henry have linked up absolutely fantastic down the right-hand side. Hartlepool being patient, keeping the ball. They're a much better team when they pass the ball. And a fantastic play, lovely little box, and like we say, strikers. You know, if Dishwa didn't score the first goal, would he be there for the second goal? So that's fantastic play from him, and that's how he wants them. And he'll be eyeing the match ball now, so we're delighted for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Confidence in football is such an important thing. And Desirue, that is on full display. And speaking of confidence, what a sliding challenge from Crawford. Pools sense blood. They sense the victory. Crawford striding forward, just gets moved momentarily, but Gray keeps it moving to Hendry on this near side. Those two have combined very well all afternoon. Back to Lacey. The crowd want more, Ben.
Yeah, I do.
So do I.
It's been absolutely brilliant. Got to keep this up. Don't let it come off the pedal. They've been absolutely fantastic this whole game, really. Enjoy the ball, make them work. You see the confidence, they all want the ball now. It's been brilliant.
What a pass from Zach Johnson out towards Luke Hendry, who gets clattered, but he keeps going. Hendry almost helps it into the path of Gray, but it just wriggles away. Now a chance for Eastleigh to attack down this near side. But he's stopped in his tracks. And Onarise is there to just cover the danger. Pools in possession. Ferguson trying to find a ball through to Desirue, who just goes shoulder to shoulder with his man.
This is the type of game where nobody wants to come off. They all want to play on, they all want the ball. You know, the subs will be desperate to get on as well because they think they can come and make an impact on the game.
Well, a change to tell you about from Eastleigh, which we missed in the chaos of the goal, but Ludwig Franzelite has gone off. He's been replaced by Aidan Barlow, who at 23 years of age, left-sided midfielder. Yet to score for Eastleigh, but he's making a run wide on the left-hand side now and receives it. Does Barlow. Shot in on target, which is comfortably saved by Pete Jameson inside his 6-yard box. Just collapses down on top of the ball, Jameson, just to take a bit of sting out of the game momentarily. Well, now you can hear the drums from the northwest corner. This ground is at its best when it finds its rhythm and it finds its voice, and all of those things are happening in front of our eyes this afternoon. Pools leading Eastleigh by 3-1. If you're just turning us on BBC Radio T Sport, where have you been? You've missed. Middlesbrough beat Sunderland by 4-0, and not to be outdone, Pools leading Eastleigh 3-1 here this afternoon with 69 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I love that.
Great what defender. A challenge by Zach Johnson. Wins possession, now a through ball from Crawford towards O'Meara. Just too much on that, and it falls into the gloves of Joe McDonnell.
I think Pools' back three have done really well. They've been really aggressive with the defending. You know, the centre forwards are coming off, they're going right into them. They've been absolutely fantastic.
A diagonal ball towards Enzio Bulduin, who looks to run it. The defence lays it off for Maguire, who's been quiet in this second half. An opportunity once more for Eastleigh, though. David Ferguson stays with his man, slides in and wins it well. The Pools captain did very well there to stay with his marker and usher the ball out for a throw-in to the Spitfires. So Pools, with this victory, could leapfrog Eastleigh in the table. Still football to be played, though, as Bulduin goes past his marker, cuts it back inside the area, the ball bouncing around. It's a chance, but it's Pools who managed to get it clear with Ferguson. Pumps it long, looking for Desiree, just out-jumped there by Trent Rendell. Floats it back into the Pools half of play. Desiree trying to close his man down. Now a chance for Maguire to get his foot on top of the ball, and he squares it out to Clements, who rolls his studs across the top of the ball for Barlow, twisting, turning, trying to get away from Luke Hendry. Hendry staying with him, but good work there from Barlow. Now Taylor out to this left-hand side for Carter, running at his man inside the area. Carter cuts it back, but cleared by Honorise, and Chris Maguire can't stop the ball from going out, and Maguire is enjoying the pantomime atmosphere, isn't he? With his, he's the pantomime villain this afternoon, is Maguire. As O'Meara slid in to keep the ball in, and Maguire just pointed to O'Meara as if to say, "Oh well, your own player kept it in." As Barlow tries to turn, but Featherstone stops him in his tracks. Good work from him. Crawford finds Desiree. Now O'Meara, through ball to Hendry, back to Joe Gray. Pools just happy to have it inside their own half, but inviting a bit of pressure
well
on. Honorise finds Crawford. 20 minutes left to go. Pools 3, Eastleigh 1. Pools readying some changes. Can see Chris Ray getting ready to come on down there. Oh, it's Pete Jameson getting in on the act to just show a slight bit of footwork to go around Scott Quigley. Now Honorise to the feet of Crawford on the halfway line. A nice 1-2. Back to Crawford, skips infield, finds Gray. Hendry's on this near side, he finds him now, stops the ball dead. Joe Gray continues his run, right hand side of the penalty area, at the angle, it's rinse and repeat, but it's easily saved down low inside the 6-yard box by Joe McDonnell, who collapses on the ball to take it away from Desiree, who was arriving at the back post. It was almost a carbon copy of the third goal.
They've been absolutely brilliant on this right-hand side, Hendry and Gray. They've just got a brilliant understanding. And as on the left-hand side as Fergie and Crawford, I think they've worked the right spaces really well, and Eastleigh have really struggled to contain them.
So far, so good for Pools, as Lacey just nudges that ball into the path of Zach Johnson at the heart of the Pools defence. We'll be over to Ray Simpson very shortly to get an update on Tamworth against the Quakers. A misplaced pass from Johnson there, but given straight back to him by Barlow. Now Featherstone picking the ball up at the base of the defence. Desirue dropping deep to get a touch. Now Featherstone over the top. Amera racing in with his man to try and win it, and he does. Amera, does he? Oh, it's just out of play for a throw-in. Let's go over to Ray Simpson in the National League North. Tamworth against the Quakers, and Ray has an update for us.
71 minutes gone. It's now Tamworth 3, Darlington 0. Tamworth had some pretty good chances at the start of the second half. Missed them. Quakers made 2 subs and looked quite promising for a moment or so, but on 69 minutes, Tamworth had the ball on the left-hand side. A couple of players declined to shoot, but instead Ben Milne took responsibility, hit a right-foot shot that zipped into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. It's Tamworth 3, Darlington 0.
Thank you, Ray. A difficult afternoon then for the Quakers in the National League North, but here in the National League, Pools 3, Eastleigh 1, and a change to tell you about as Chris Ray has come on to replace Josh Amera. And I suspect that is just to try and keep Amera fresh. Amera goes off. Chris Ray comes on, yet to score his first goal for Pools. Chris Ray did get a couple in pre-season, I seem to remember. This is his 8th appearance since joining from Southend in the summer.
I know Josh didn't get his goal, but he did a lot of good work, didn't he? He did a lot of hard work. I think if he keeps continuing with that, keeps doing that, the goals will come. Yes, he'd be disappointed that he's not got on the score sheet being a centre forward, but the work that he's done for the team, them centre backs know they've been in the game today.
Absolutely. As Chris Maguire finds Barlow, skips in field. Thought about the shot for a moment there. Maguire might go by himself, closed down by Crawford, and that shot is smothered. But the orange shirts of Eastleigh have it back with Rendell. Now Taylor out to this near side, looking for Clements. Now Carter trying to find the angle in on goal, but just moving from left to right, crossing to the penalty area. On a Onarise heads it away. Might fall to Maguire, but gets the ball taken off his toes by Lacey. Now Crawford finds Chris Ray, can't quite keep hold of it, and the orange shirts have it once more. 15 minutes left to play. Pools 3, Eastleigh 1 on BBC Radio T Sport. As Maguire turns away from his marker, finds Quigley, but a good sliding challenge from Onarise and again from Joe Gray. But Quigley is dispossessed a second time, this time by Luke Hendry, who launches it clear up towards Desirue, does well to trap it on his chest, but is just out-muscled in the end by Rendell.
He did the hard bit there, he got it down really well.
And then Eastleigh have given it away to David Ferguson, who pushes past his man with ease. He's got Chris Ray and Desirue to pick from if he so chooses. Ferguson tries to deliver it inside the area, but it's cut out and cleared by the visitors. There was an opportunity for Pools to make it 4.
Today as well.
Yeah.
Read it really well.
As Halifax have doubled their lead against Ebbsfleet. Ebbsfleet 0, Halifax 2, still Gateshead 0, Altrincham 1, Kidderminster 0, Wealdstone 0. It's Maidenhead 1, Rochdale 1, as Clements here finds Barlow. Now Maguire to Carter. This is good patient build-up from Eastleigh. Oh, but then good defensive cover by Nicky Featherstone, who's been brilliant this afternoon. I'm not trying to overstate the fact, but he really has been a key component of this Pools performance in which they lead 3-1.
I think he's just lifted standards of everybody on the pitch today have raised their game and have been absolutely fantastic. I think obviously Featherstone's had the career he's had. I think he'll have the respect of the players in the changing room, and you can just see his quality. He's always got that quality.
Scores elsewhere in the National League then: York 1, Bromley 1, it's Woking 0, Southend 2, Solihull Moors 0, Aldershot 1, Oxford City 1, Fylde 0, Oldham 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, still Bournemouth 0, Chesterfield 1 as well. So up to date with scores in the National League, with Pools leading here 3-1 on BBC Radio T's Sport. Thanks for being with us, however you're listening to us. Always better when the teams are winning. Middlesbrough did the first part, beating Sunderland in the Weir Tees derby, and Pools trying to finish the job as they lead 3-1 here against Eastleigh. A break in play because Manny Desirue just getting some treatment from the new Pools physio, who was previously at Darlington. But the last thing John Askey would need is for one of his prize strikers to pick up a knock.
Yeah, he won't want to come off, will he?
No, absolutely not. See Matty Dolan warming up down in front, down over on the far side.
Just come to his feet, he's all right, yeah.
Should be all right to continue, we hope. Meanwhile, Chelsea 3-1 now against Burnley. Everton 3-0 against Bournemouth. Fulham have taken the lead against Sheffield United. They lead by 1-0. Still Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. That's going to be a talking point on Match of the Day tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the late kick-off, Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. Well, Manny Desirue will have to spend the next 30 seconds on the sidelines, such as the new rules. So Pools momentarily down to 10 men. Eastleigh in possession inside their own half. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Barlow now to Clements. Down the line he goes to Carter, trying to peel away from Joe Gray. Joe Gray's been dragged down, and Pools have a free kick, much to the frustration of Charlie Carter. Well, Manny Desirue still waiting to be waved back on. And Pools waiting to take this free kick. And now Desirue is waved onto the field of play by referee Aaron Farmer, so Pools back up to a full accompaniment of players. Pete Jameson coming right out of his goal to take this free kick, dressed all in green with the big white goalkeeping gloves, up towards Desirue, who wins it. Falls to Ferguson, clips it in towards Chris Ray, turning edge of the area. Ferguson had continued his run, but the shot from Ray was crowded out. Now Maguire is being pulled by Crawford and wins the free kick. Does Chris Maguire. It's taken by Rendell, goes long, flicked on header from Quigley, might fall for Barlow, skips infield, past Joe Gray, opens up a little bit for him, instead he lays it off to Maguire. Now Clement stops the ball dead, he's got Hendry in front of him, so he goes to his right for Carter, back to Clements once more, tries to get it on his right foot and finds Maguire. But Pools have plenty of bodies back, they're just shifting across to try and close the avenues. Eastleigh trying to pick the lock. Barlow inside the area, at the angle, still going Barlow, shot blocked down low to the right hand post of Pete Jameson. That was a save that needed to be made.
Yeah, Pete did well there, the kid showed a good turn of pace.
Maguire into the 6-yard area and easily saved and collapsed upon by Jameson. And that just to try and alleviate a little bit more pressure and stretch out those seconds into minutes and eat up some time. Pete Jameson waving the players in front of him forward, and with 10 minutes left to go, Ben, I just put in your mind now, have a little think for your BBC Radio T Sport Man of the Match.
It'll be hard today, that would be hard.
Have a little think of that. There's been some very good performances out there this afternoon from a Pools perspective. Manny Desirue closing his man down, forcing Eastleigh back to their goalkeeper, which is a rather awkward pass forward from McDonald. Maguire dropping deep inside his own half. Out to this near side now for Barlow, who's been bright since he's come on.
He looks lively.
He does.
Yeah.
He's been busy. Gets it back from Carter. He's wriggling through the defences, Barlow, and he's still going up until he was dispossessed by Hendry. But the orange shirts still have it. Maguire spreads the play out to the right-hand side. Almost everybody back from Pools. David Ferguson dropping off. Well, the pass intercepted and read by Nicky Featherstone, who finds Desirue. 3 orange shirts around him. He just keeps hold of it, does Desirue. And gets it back. Desirue is almost playing like a left back.
Well played.
And he picks out Crawford, who stabs it forward, and that was a late challenge in on Crawford, who goes down heavily on the halfway line.
You know, Rob, we go about confidence and we talk about Desiree. He fancies himself as a CDM now, so that's just what confidence does. I mean, he did absolutely fantastic play, a little triangles with him and Featherstone and Zach, absolutely fantastic play, and you know, it's such an important thing. Confidence, I think he's been outstanding today with the rest of the team.
Well, it's George Langston who's gone into the referee's notepad there. Free kick to Pools. Spennymoor have gone 2-0 up against Rushall Olympic. Spennymoor really fighting at the top end of the table. That is a good result for them. Free kick for Pools. Zach Johnson just clips it over the top for Chris Ray, who is offside by some margin as well. 8 minutes left to play. Pools 3, Eastleigh 1 on BBC Radio T Sport. Pools coming into this one off the back of 3 defeats on the spin, and are in line for just their second ever win over Eastleigh. Their last win coming in 2017. Nicky Featherstone played that afternoon, as he does so today. And what a performance he's put in. Looks like he's never been away. The space opens up for Jake Taylor inside the Pools half. Now Balderwin, Maguire, back to Taylor once more. Good build-up play from Eastleigh to Barlow on the edge of the area, but Gray does well to read it, and he's just being caught in the face, I think, Joe Gray there. He stays down.
Yeah, Joe did well.
Yeah, it wasn't anything malicious in it, was it? It was just a tangling of the two bodies.
A clash. I think he's doing his defensive work really well there, Joe. I think, like I said, down this right-hand side, when you play the 3 at the back, it's important that the wing-backs get back in and do the defensive work, and I think he's done that very well today, along with Fergie does that more naturally than Joe, but I think and Henry, but they've done well.
Well, Gray is down and needs some treatment. Looks like Eastleigh are going to make a change as well. And now you look around the pitch and you can see Luke Hendry talking to Desiree. Saw Nicky Featherstone in conversation with Tom Crawford a moment ago. Oh, Charlie Carter, the man going off for Eastleigh, just waiting for the 4th official to show the board.
They'll be enjoying it, Rob. That's what that'll be. They'll be saying, "Oh, this is what it's about. This is what we're capable of." So the lads will be. I must admit, I think Henry's been excellent at the wing back role. He's done really, really well. It's just give you that energy, and I say him and Joe have got a good understanding. But you know, I keep coming back to Featherstone, but he's been absolutely brilliant. He really has. And you can see he's just give the whole squad a lift, I think.
Well, Joe Gray still getting some treatment, but Charlie Carter goes off and Seung Woo Yang comes on to replace him. So there will be a fair bit of stoppage time to add on. Don't forget, after the game, your chance to have your say, Poolies. If you've been listening to us this afternoon, maybe you're in the ground and you've got us on while you're watching the game. I know there's a fair few who do that and listen via the BBC Football website while they're watching the game. So if you want to have your say, you can text 81333. Start your message with the word Tees. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at BBC Tees Sport. You can give us a call as well, 08000 85 95 95, the free phone number to talk Pools, as we await the post-match reaction, which we'll bring to you as well between 5 and 6 with Matty Nixon. Onarise reads the ball well, finds Crawford. Pools look to try and spring a counter here. Crawford gives it to Desiree. Chris Ray's right on the shoulder of the last defender, but Pools have given it away, and Eastleigh have it with Yang. Now Rendell, and Barlow inside the centre circle, just gets a little push in the back off Alex Lacey, and the free kick goes the way of the Spitfires. There's going to be another change shortly for Eastleigh, and it comes now. It's going to be number 12, George Langston, who goes off.
I think Barlow's arguably been Eastleigh's best player. He's been on for 20 minutes. He's looked lively. But, you know, Pools might just get back into the shape now. They might just go a bit deeper, put the back 5 in, get the midfield lads nice and tight, nice and compact, keep the lines between them very short so there's no pockets. Just try and see this game out.
Well, I'm not too sure who's come on there, because the number 19 isn't on our team sheet, and I've just noticed number 8, Jake Taylor, on the team sheet we've been given, says he's on the bench when he's not. He's very much been starting from the beginning, so bear with us while we figure that one out. Cross from Quigley that goes all the way through to the opposite side for a Pools throw-in. So let's It's still waiting for confirmation, but I'm checking the Eastleigh Twitter page as we speak, hoping that they will update it, so I can tell you exactly who has come on. So we've already had Sung Woo Yang, who's come on to replace Charlie Carter, but we've just had George Langston go off, the number 19 come on to replace him, and it is Corey Panther who's come on, who is number 17 on the team sheet. So there we go. Every day's a school day. Throw into Eastleigh in front of the Cyril Knowles stand, midway inside the Pools half, taken by Jake Taylor, who very much has been in the starting 11, not on the bench. 2 minutes left to play plus stoppage time, so Pools are almost home and hosed. As Joe McDonnell goes long from inside his own half, boomed clear by Onarise, collected by Desirue. Does well, held it up really well, kept hold of it as well. Now Joe Gray plays in Hendry on this near side, right on the touchline. Back in field to Joe Gray. Oh, what a turn from Joe Gray. Just dragged the ball behind his standing leg, drew the free kick as well from Yang. Good play from Gray. You're going to have some difficult decision here.
Joe Gray's reminded me of James Brown today.
Has he?
That's a compliment.
That is a big compliment
I can give him. Because he was probably arguably the best player I ever played with the Pools, and that's how good I think he's played today.
Wow.
Yeah. But he still might not get man of the
match. Luke Hendry from the free kick tries to hit a diagonal towards Chris Ray, but it goes out of play for throwing to the opposition into the final 60 seconds of the 90. Grey skies above the ground here this afternoon. We've had strong winds throughout the game. No rain as of yet, and even if it did, Pools wouldn't have cared, because they're 3-1 up at home, and after a run of defeats, this has to feel very good indeed for John Askey and those players. And well done Zach Johnson, who does very well to dispossess his man on the byline and complete the clearance, only as far as Clements. Now Panther back to Clements once more, wide on the left, looks to deliver, ball left-footed in towards Quigley, who meets it, got behind Onarise, but he heads it wide, and behind for a Pools goal kick. Still Pools leading by 3-1 as we tick round to the 90th minute. 7 minutes of stoppage time to play. We're into that now. That's a long old stoppage. I mean, Joe Gray definitely wasn't down for 7 minutes, was he? But he was down for a few minutes, but definitely not 7.
I think it was important that the Pools just keep switched on, because they don't want to be giving a goal away here and getting it all nervy later on. That was a good chance for Eastleigh. Good ball in. A little bit too much time in the box. Big, well played there.
Desirue does well, but Joe Gray just loses his footing at the vital moment. Now Barlow striding forward for Eastleigh, looking to try and get what would be a goal that would certainly make it interesting in the last few moments in stoppage time. Cross from Yang into towards the area, away by Onarise, only as far as Clements, lays it off for Maguire, he gives it back to Yang, back to Maguire, nobody able to really pull the trigger. Baldwin gets a header on it inside the box and hooked away by Onarise. Pulls everybody back defending that.
I think Joe's looking a bit tired now. Joe Gray, maybe a chance to get a sub on.
Well, the referee again very particular about where the throw-in should be taken. Now Maguire, the booze will tell you he's on the ball. Scored a free kick to level the scoring early in the first half. His wild celebrations in front of the Neil Cooper stand mean that he has become the target of booze and jeers. Zach Johnson with a good challenge that the man alongside me would have loved to have made.
He's been excellent. I've been really impressed with him. Like I say, he's been on the front foot with his defending, which is really good, really aggressive. Now he's been good with the ball as well.
He has. Desirue collects it, finds Crawford. Now Joe Gray, look at the space for Luke Hendry on this right-hand side. Hendry receives it from Gray. But instead, Hendry Back to Featherstone. Now Chris Ray, who was offside. And Ray somewhat bewildered by that. But free kick to Eastleigh as the fans' man of the match has been given to Nicky Featherstone. And now the ball over through to Baldwin, left-hand side of the penalty area, running it on Arise. Now Barlow onto his right foot, thinks about the shot, instead clips it to the back post. A free header drops down and collected by Pete Jameson right on the byline to keep it in. So 5 minutes in the 7 and stoppage time left to play. Pools 3, Eastleigh 1. Ben Clark, our expert Pools summariser. Here we go then, your man of the match, my friend. I know you've been umming and ahhing over this, haven't you?
This is really hard, but I honestly think that this is...
Hold that thought, because Crawford over the top for Desirue. He's wide on the left-hand side, though, by the corner flag. Stops the ball dead. Lays it off for Ferguson. Ray's offside, though, so Ferguson can't deliver it. And he's still off his Chris Ray. And now Ferguson is offside, and the flag goes up.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, I just think as a team, I think this is probably the best. Well, I've not seen all the games, but it's definitely the best I've seen Hartlepool play, and this is the standard that they've set now. So the players have got to keep up to this standard. But I'm gonna have to go for Featherstone myself. I think he's been the best player on the pitch. He's dominated the game. But I think Joe Gray, the defenders have done all great. Desiree got 2. I've liked Henry. All of them have been fantastic. But I would say overall Featherstone be my man of the match.
Nicky Featherstone, then your BBC Radio T Sport man of the match, as a cross in the penalty area for Bull to win. That just has to be touched over the crossbar by Pete Jameson. A good header from the number 11. Did well to wriggle away from his marker, get his header away, but Jameson just had to be sure to get his fingertips on it and tap it behind for Eastleigh's 5th corner of the game.
I think even Pete's done really well. He's talking, hasn't he? He's been really good, and when he's been called upon, he's done well. So come and get this then, Pete.
Corner whipped in, bounces all the way through to Barlow, who unleashes a volley, and it ends up in and amongst the Eastleigh fans behind the goal. It is still Pools 3, Eastleigh 1. But Nicky Featherstone, as I said, your BBC Radio T Sport man of the match on his first home game since April the 29th. A return home, a return to the blue and white, and a return to the standard of which we're used to seeing from the man who is the Benjamin Button of Hartlepool, isn't he, Nicky Featherstone?
I just love his composure. He always wants the football, and I've talked about this before on the radio about bravery. He's just so brave. He wants the ball all the time, and as a defender, when you've got somebody like that in front of you, it makes your job a lot easier. I must mention Crawford as well. Crawford's had an excellent game as well. They all have. They've been absolutely brilliant.
Eastleigh in possession deep inside their own half, and 2 minutes left to play. As Chris Ray just closing his man down and forcing Eastleigh back, but many of the home crowd, some making their way out, but some also filtering down to the terraces, to the advertising boards, to just stand and applaud their men in blue and white when the full-time whistle does eventually go. Ball clipped into the area, shoving the back there on Zach Johnson, which was clear as day from Quigley. You've got to try something, haven't you, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, credit for trying it.
It's a long drive home for them now, isn't it, after the game?
Yeah, I was talking to one of the Eastleigh media team before kick-off, and he said, oh yeah, we came down yesterday, so it wasn't too bad. He said, but I'll be dreading the drive home if Eastleigh lose this afternoon, and they are staring defeat in the face. Hartlepool United will leapfrog Eastleigh in the table. Oh, header from Desirue finds Chris Ray, who manages to get by his man at the byline, but just runs away from him and out for a goal kick.
I think the midweek game will come as a break for them. I think the lads they will probably win the game after this, so that's the thing. But I think the management, they'll be happy with get the rest, get some players back, and they'll enjoy this week, Hartlepool. Because this has been definitely a playoff team performance. This fantastic.
Joe Gray does very well to win it and find Crawford. Gets away from his marker, needs a bit of help. Chris Ray tries to provide it. They back off to Luke Hendry. Now Featherstone, the man of the match, the man of the moment. Now Crawford keeps it in on the touchline. Going to hold it up by the corner flag, just for safe keeping. And the referee blows the whistle. Hartlepool United get the win they so desperately needed. After 3 defeats on the bounce, Pools win 3-1 at home against Eastleigh. Just their second ever win against the Spitfires. The scoring opened after just 8 minutes when Joe Gray, who was brilliant this afternoon, combining well with Luke Hendry in towards Crawford, laid it off perfectly for him, who just curled the ball past Joe McDonnell in the opposition goal. It squeezed in the only space there was to give Crawford his 3rd of the season. But an equaliser made the game a little bit more nervy in the first half, and it came from a former Poolie of sorts in Chris Maguire, who placed the ball down, curled it over the wall and into the top corner. It was a peach of a free kick. But Pools, the second half is where they really turned the screw on 55 minutes. Joe Gray winning a tackle, charging up the opposite end of the field, finding Josh O'Meara back into Hendry, who delivered it into the box. Picture perfect for Manny Desirue, who met it with his head inside the 6-yard area to bury it and give him his first goal in 7 games, and how he celebrated that one. And those celebrations were mirrored just 10 minutes later when again Luke Hendry combining with Joe Gray into the feet of Manny Desirue, who was able to tap in from close range to make it 2 in quick succession and get more goals in his column for the season. It takes him up to 8 for the campaign. Hartlepool United confident, Hartlepool United winning, Hartlepool United with 3 points in their back pocket, a win they so richly deserved, but how much they needed that. They march up the National League table. It ends Pools 3, Eastleigh 1. Ben, your final thoughts?
I thought it was magnificent. I thought all players were 8, 9s out of 10, and that's what they have to be, because the National League, it's so tough, and I think they've been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the way they've played. Some fantastic performances. That changing room will be absolutely buzzing. The crowd are buzzing. I'm buzzing, so I'm absolutely delighted. My brother came to the game, so he'll have to come to the next game. It'll be an absolutely great afternoon, and I've really enjoyed it.
Well, you're back here with us on Saturday for the FA Cup against Chester, so clearly you're the good luck charm now, Ben.
It's got to be the same again, hasn't it?
Same again.
Same pre-match, same everything again, but fantastic day for the North East, so we've had a good day on the radio station.
We absolutely have, yes. Middlesbrough beating Sunderland by 4-0, but it's not a derby, is it, in the Championship? A fantastic result for them. That mirrored by Hartlepool United here on home soil, winning 3-1 against Eastleigh. How's that?
Oh, I'll tell you what, it sounds good to me, lads. It sounds very good to me. That was much needed as well, wasn't it, Ben, looking at kind of how things have been last few weeks. I was obviously down there on Wednesday for the game at Boreham Wood, and I felt as though they were very hard done to lose that one. It was a good performance, but they've actually managed to hit the back of the net today, which is a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was massive. I think the start of the game so well, and obviously with Manny getting his goal, he'll be 10 foot tall in there, but they were dominant all game, really. I think Chesterfield, so I'm getting carried away here. Eastleigh had one moment of real quality in the first half from the free kick, but every play was just on it today, weren't they, Rob?
Yeah,
they were just really on it. You could see, I think Featherstone coming back into the team made a massive difference, and I must admit, the last game I did, I was a little bit disappointed with the second, but this is a team that you think, oh, this is a proper team, and they were fantastic, and like I said, it was a real pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, and Rob, I said it to you, didn't I, after Wednesday? It's almost like Nicky Featherstone was never away. The way he's slotted in these last 2 games since signing that short-term deal, it's incredible, really, isn't it?
It is, and like I said in commentary, Matty, I don't know if it's good or bad that Nicky Featherstone has come in and done so well, and I don't mean that for any slight on Nicky Featherstone in the slightest. More of a compliment to him, but not so much Hartlepool as a football club, because the fact that he was ever allowed to leave and putting in performances like that just show that he should have never been away from this football club.
There may be a new contract now waiting for him there.
Absolutely. There'll probably be one waiting for him in the dressing room after that performance. But, you know, he was the fans' man of the match. He was Ben Clark's man of the match, and rightly so. He absolutely pulled the strings from right to left, from back to front. He just epitomised what that team was all good about, all the good things about that team this afternoon. It came through him, and don't get me wrong, as Ben rightly said, you could pick out loads of different players in that team this afternoon, Matty, but Nicky Featherstone, and he got a great reception as well at the end of the game, and he let out an almighty roar when that full-time whistle went. His first home game here since April of the 29th of April earlier this year. That was when Pools were in the Football League, and how he'd love to be a part of a team that could get them back there, I'm sure.
Again. Yeah.
Yes, again, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, gents. I have a feeling they'll be around for a little bit longer than a month. But we'll see. Ben, Rob, thank you very, very much.